Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Missle Industries E30 LS1 project. Now today, or should I say tonight, I will be dragging the motor out of that car and then sticking the LS and T56 gearbox combo into it. Well, actually I won't be doing all of that tonight. Tonight I'll focus specifically on pulling that motor out of the car, and hopefully by the end of this video I will have the T56 and LS1 in the E30. So that's my plan for this episode. But first up, I'm going to time-lapse the extraction of the M30 and Geartrade 260 because I've had a lot of practice at this, and generally I can get it done in about an hour and a half, start to finish. I've already had a bit of a head start with getting the bonnet off and the air cleaner, so hopefully I can do this time check 20 past 8, have this all wrapped up by 10 PM tonight. 20 past 8. O'clock. I'm most of the way there. I've just got engine crane chains to hitch up, fuel lines to disconnect. As we can see, it's 10 o'clock. LS1 empty engine bay. Old engine and gearbox sitting over there in the corner. The LS1 is ready to come off the engine stand. Gearbox is there. But it's 11 PM, so I'll pick this up tomorrow. Okay, fast forward several days and I've had the engine and gearbox in and out of my E30 2 times for tunnel modifications, and now I have all the bits and pieces I need to hopefully fit this engine for a third and final time. Probably not, but we'll see how we go. The gearbox is reattached to the engine. I have done my braided clutch line and bleed line. The new clutch is installed. Engine mounts are roughly mocked in there. All I need to do now is throw this engine in and see if I've got gearbox clearance, because the biggest issue I've had so far is gearbox clearance, because the tunnel is quite small compared to the box, and this time we'll see if it all fits. Okay, summary time for episode 4 of Missle Industries E30 project. And as you can see, the motor is in. This is the third time the motor's gone into the car, and this is the first time I've officially bolted the engine and transmission mounts up firmly to see what kind of clearance issues I'm going to have. And I can already say now the starter motor is not going to work with the steering rack, because it's actually touching the spline for the steering rack input. So I'm going to need to find a smaller, shorter starter motor, and the aftermarket sump pan is almost touching the steering rack as well, but there's at least 2mm in that, so that should be fine. Plenty of space around the firewall. That's a bit weird compared to the 6-cylinder, which was pretty much within millimeters of the firewall. My clutch line looks like it's going to be long enough, just. So that's good news. Pretty happy with the way everything's sitting, to be honest. With this installation, I'll be able to do some tail shaft measurements so I can get a tail shaft built. All in all, I'm pretty pleased. It's just occurred to me that my rack clearance issues are probably a result of the E46 3 turns lock-to-lock purple tag steering rack I've got in this car, because the pinion for the rack is closer to the center line of the car in this rack than it is on the earlier E30 models, so that seems like a problem of my own doing rather than the engine mount kit. But hopefully I can find a solution that means I get to keep my LS and my 3 turns lock-to-lock steering rack.